You looked up how to send different emails using paths in Zapier. That is exactly what we are building right now. Open your browser, go to zapier.com and sign into your account. Wait for the dashboard to finish loading. While the page loads, a quick check. Make sure the application that triggers this workflow and your email service are already connected to Zapier. Once the dashboard is up, click the big Create button in the very top left corner, then select Zaps from the dropdown. The Zap editor opens. Now the trigger. Click the trigger step where it says Choose App and Event. Type the name of the form or tool that starts your workflow. I am using Typeform because a lead generation form is the most common real-world example, but the same branching logic works with Google Forms, JotForm, HubSpot, Shopify, Airtable, or Calendly. Select Typeform, then choose the trigger event New Form Submission. Click Continue. Connect your Typeform account if it is not already linked, then pick the specific form your leads fill out. I have a simple lead capture form that asks for name, email, and most importantly, a field called Customer Type, with options like Enterprise, Starter, and Pro. That field is what everything will branch on later. Click Continue. Now test the trigger. Hit the Test Trigger button. Zapier pulls in the most recent submission from your form. If you do not have any data yet, open the form in another tab, submit a fake test entry with real-looking values, then test again. Once sample data loads, scroll through the fields and confirm that the customer type field is present and shows a clean value like Enterprise, exactly as it appears in the form. I am really careful here because a stray space or mismatch capitalization in the form data will silently break the path conditions later. I have had an entire workflow fail because a drop-down option changed from Enterprise to Enterprise without me knowing, and half the leads got no email. Next, add the branching logic. Click the little plus icon directly below the trigger step, search for Paths by Zapier. Select it. The first path, Path A, appears automatically. Click into it to set the condition. This is the branch for your highest priority audience. I will make Path A for Enterprise customers. In the condition, choose the customer type field from the trigger, set the operator to text exactly matches, and type Enterprise exactly as it appears in the sample data. Before you move on, here is the trap that catches people. Exactly matches is case and space sensitive. If your form data might vary even slightly, use contains instead. I switch to contains whenever I am pulling from a free text field instead of a dropdown, but with a well-built form, exactly matches is safer and faster. Now the email. Inside Path A, click the plus icon to add an action. Search for your email app. I am using Gmail because it is the most familiar, but you can pick Outlook, MailChimp, Brevo, or ActiveCampaign. The setup is almost identical. Select Gmail, choose Send Email, click Continue. Connect your Gmail account. Now configure the email. In the To field, map the email address from the trigger step. For the subject, type Welcome to our Enterprise Solution - your name. In the body, write a short message that actually sounds like it belongs to an enterprise lead. I am pasting in a quick template that pulls in the contact name from the trigger, so it says hi, first name, comma. That personal touch is why we are doing all this instead of one generic blast. You can also add a signature or a PDF link if you map more fields, but keep it simple for the test. Now Path B. Click Add Path near the top of the Path step. Another branch appears. This one is for starter customers. Set the condition to customer type exactly matches starter. Then add an email action just like before, but change the subject to Welcome to our starter plan and write a message specific to that audience, something lighter and more introductory. With just these two paths, you already have automated segmentation. Let me add one more path so you see how flexible this is. Click Add Path again. This time branch on lead source exactly matches webinar. Add a Gmail action with a subject like "Thank you for attending our webinar" and a short follow-up note. You can create paths for country, order value above a number, product interest, anything a field contains. Now the part people skip, and I never skip this, test every single path individually. Inside Path A, click the Test button. Zapier checks the condition and sends the enterprise email to the sample email from the trigger. Watch for that green check mark. Then do the same inside Path B and every other path you made. Verify that the correct email template fired and that the subject and body show the real mapped values, not placeholder tags. If a path gets skipped, the condition is probably not matching. I open the step details, compare the field value to the condition text, and fix a stray capital letter 90% of the time. Once all paths pass, review the whole workflow from the top. Check that the trigger pulls the right fields, each condition is spelled correctly, and every email action has a correct recipient and subject. Give the Zap a descriptive name like lead routing by customer type, then click the Publish button. Your automation is now live. After publishing, run a final end-to-end test. Submit 3 or 4 fresh entries in your real form, each with a different customer type and lead source combination. Wait a few minutes for Zapier to process them. Then check the email inboxes for those test addresses. Confirm the right message arrived for each and that no one received 2 emails from different paths. If so, you are done. Now that it is working, there are 2 things you will want to do next. First, add a catch-all path at the very bottom. Create one last path with the condition set to customer type exists, meaning it matches anything the earlier paths did not catch. For the action, send a notification to yourself in Slack or Gmail instead of to the lead so you can review those mystery records rather than ignore them. I set that up on every multipath Zap I build. Second, bookmark your Zap history page. A few days after publishing, go in and confirm that tasks are running on the right paths and that no error messages are stacking up. It is the quickest way to spot a condition that silently broke because a form changed. If this helped you set it up, hit like, subscribe for more Zapier automations nobody else shows the traps on, and leave a comment saying it was helpful. Comments are what push this to other people searching for exactly this same thing.